You must be feeling like this your night. So do your thing, girl, it's alright. You're doing everything that I like. So let your hair down, get your life. You must be feeling like this your night. So do your thing, girl, it's alright. You're doing everything.
Hey, cuties, what's going on? Welcome. I am California Cutie, your host. Welcome to Club California Cutie, okay? Where everyone gets in free and everyone is VIP, all right? That's how we do it over here. Everyone gets in free and it definitely is VIP for everyone. At my club, it always goes up. It's always lit. It's always a good time. Okay. So make sure that you are subscribed to my channel, especially if you're new. Especially if you just popped in, I got in your algorithm and you just like, what the hecky? Well, hey, look, get into it. You got to get into it. You go ahead and subscribe to my channel, and I promise you, you will not be disappointed. Okay. So yes, subscribe to my channel. If you're new here or if you've been here before, just make sure you're subscribed, because sometimes YouTube be tripping and they end up taking your subscription down to see if you're gonna notice, and I usually do. So make sure that even if you've been here before, that you are still subscribed. And then what else? Make sure your notification bell is on. You need to hit the bell and then touch all, so that anytime I drop new commentary or drop a video, or even if I go live, you are notified to let you know to come on in here and get some of this good, okay? And then I really need you guys to share me with your people, okay? Because I'm trying to get my viewership up. I'm trying to get monetized. So we gotta share. Y'all already know sharing is caring. So let's get into that. Let's get into sharing and caring, okay? And so you know why we're here, y'all. We got to get to take care of the bit. We took care of the business, but now we need to understand the reason we are here. Okay, we are here for Married to Medicine, season 12, episode 2, makeups and breakups. You know, all right, yeah. Makeups sound all right. Breakups don't sound good. Breakups don't sound good. Okay, I don't like the way that sound. Y'all not. No. I don't like it. So I guess we will find out who will be making up and who will be breaking up. I just threw my socials on the bottom of my screen. Follow me on IG, California Cutie 310. Follow me on Threads, California Cutie 310. My Cash App is also scrolling on the bottom. If you have it to give, go ahead and feel free to. If you don't have it to give, hit me with a likes. They are pretty much equivalent to the same thing, okay? So let's make sure we are doing that. I'm just about to pull my notes up and make sure that I got all the business that I need to take care of. Let's pull the girls up and let me get into it. Hey, Married to Medicine girls. Hey, girls. My girls. Hey, girls. Okay. Before I start, let me tell y'all how goofy I was on my last review with Married to Medicine episode 1. I'm looking at the screen, y'all. You know, I refuse. I haven't got my eyes checked, right? So I'm sitting here looking at the ladies from the distance that I am, and they're smaller on my right here, right? So I was confused. I was led astray. Brandy is not a newbie to the cast. The cast shrunk. It's Dr. Heavenly is not on the cast. So the cast actually shrunk. Okay. So we have Dr. Mimi there standing in her beautiful gown. Then we have Toya. Then we have Quad. Then we have Dr. Jackie. Then we have Dr. Simone. And then we have Dr. Contessa. And that is the order. I apologize for my my mix-up on my last review. I don't know what the heck I was thinking of. I thought we had the 2 new girls, and then I saw when they opened up the show, and well, Paige and Dr. Contessa, Dr. Heavenly. Well, Jane say Dr. Heavenly this time, but you know how the beginning goes. So I got a chance to see who exactly was on the cast. So my apologies again. Brandy is a friend of, and so is Angel, and Dr. Heavenly is also a friend of. Okay, that's where it's at. That's where we're going with it. And my apologies again. All right. So without further ado, let's get into this recap and review of Married to Medicine, Season 12, Episode 2, Makeups to Breakups. Let me make sure I got the right thing up. No, that was Episode 1. All right, here we go. All right, so I just addressed all that. I just told y'all. I had to put it in my notes so that I didn't forget. So again, we get dual scenes now. So instead of just having one scene of the ladies and then finishing that scene out and going to the next scene, they do dual scenes. So they'll give us a little bit of what's going on, and then it might reference to what the other scene has going on. And so they give us two scenes at once, not on the same screen, but like basically a couple of minutes of this scene and then a couple of minutes of this scene. I mean, the next scene, and they'll bounce back and forth. Okay. So in my notes, that's how I wrote them. Okay. So don't get mad at me. Be mad at the production. All right. So we start off at the Harris's home. Eugene just got back from work. As you already know, he works 5 days a week away from home, either 2.5 hours or 5 hours away from where he lives, so that he can make the money and not let the money make him. Okay. And so he walks in. Toya had wrote him a nice little note and said, meet her in the backyard with a glass of champagne already poured. And so he walks back there, meets her in the backyard with his glass of champagne. And when he gets back there, he's like, man, I wish you would have had the note would have said to meet you in the bedroom under the covers. And I don't think he means sexual because he literally says he is tired, as he should be, especially if he worked for 5 days straight and then you have to drive home. Yeah, you might be a little tired, need a little relaxation. So that's why Toya probably wrote the note and had a glass of champagne waiting for him, which is always nice. Oh yeah, so we get them, and we get the Harrises in their confessional, and Toya says now the roles have kind of flipped. Now she's always tired, and Eugene gets home, and the first thing he thinks of and is thinking about is Whoopi. But I guess with Eugene, with his weight loss, I think that helped him with his libido. Or he might have got the little P shot, because they got the O shot, or the P and the P. Anyway, they have a woman shot and they have a man shot to get your libido up. So he might have took that. Who knows? I know for a fact that my girl Toya did get the shot, because Dr. Jackie had gave, I think, most of the ladies shots. So, and that thing lasts, I think, up to a couple of years or maybe a year. However, when I get it, I'll let y'all know. I don't even know if my doctor's office offer it. I'm just saying, I am a woman of a particular age, but my stuff still works. It's great. I'm good. TMI, but whatever. So anyway, so they go in the house, and Eugene asked about Mimi and Steve's polo party. So he said it was really a cute event. She feels like they haven't all been together in a while, probably since the reunion. And this was like in June, somewhere in June. So I don't remember when the reunion was taped, but I think it was a couple of months before that. So she said it was different though, because she hated that Dr. Heavenly wasn't there, and she thought was odd because Heavenly hasn't missed a party or an event in over 12 years. They're in their 12th season. So yeah, that was a little odd to not see Heavenly in the episode at all last week. And I was going to say something, but I felt like if I said something that it was going to trigger her to be in the next scene or the next episode and showing up and showing out. So I kind of didn't say anything. And then I thought back after I did the review and I said, dang, I should have said something about Dr. Heavenly, that either she was missed, or even ask you guys, did you guys miss Dr. Heavenly in the last episode? I didn't, but you can let me know in the comment section and tell me if you missed her, and then did she make up for the miss that in this episode? Okay, so I'm kind of glad I didn't say anything last week, because yeah, she came in and yeah, okay, we'll get to it. Oh, excuse me. And so we head over. Now we're doing the dual scene. So now we head over to the Kimes residence. Heavenly shows Damon her state representative for District 93. She's working on the website. And so he told her, he likes the way it looks and things. And Heavenly asked Damon if he knew she was serious about running for office. He said, yeah, I knew you was serious. He's also told her he was proud of her. He said they've been through big steps before, so he's looking forward to this one. So we bounce back over to Toya and Eugene. Toya tells Eugene that Dr. Jackie made a joke about Dr. Heavenly running for vice president. And I fool Eugene turned like, wait, what? And so Toya tells him Dr. Heavenly is running for state representative, though. He thinks she's joking. She's not. She's not. So what he is trying to figure out is what Toya is trying to figure out is how do we support her in her campaign with all the crazy things that she said and done over the 12 seasons of Married to Medicine, and the things that have came out of her mouth over the 12 seasons. So of course production is producing, and they go and they show us a lot of clips, a lot of moments that I'm sure Heavenly is not going to be so proud of. But there's no perfect person. So we're all human, we all have feelings, and sometimes we talk through our feelings, and sometimes we show our ass and then talk our feelings. So we'll see how it goes. So yeah, like I said, production was they were producing and they were showing us all these clips. So Toya says after those clips, she says, so who's voting for Heavenly? Eugene says she may get some people that no, he says she may, let me do it like him. He says she may get a lot of people to vote for her. Doesn't that mean something when somebody is saying yes to an answer, but they're shaking their head no? Because that's what he's doing. He was like, yeah, she probably get a lot of people to vote for her. And I'm like, but why is your head shaking no when you mean yes? So I put in there. I was like, the community is not okay. Shout out to Bondi. Because the community is not okay. How you shaking your head no, saying, oh no, she probably gonna get a lot of votes, but you like this with it. Okay. But he also says in the conventional, like, in this climate, you never know who can win for office. Look at who's in our office right now. Okay. And anybody can run for office. Because look, Jason Lee is in office. Am I correct? He's also in the news about doing some stuff that they said that he might be doing that's not supposed to be happening. But hey, we shall see. We shall see. I hope he's not. I hope he didn't do that, because don't get into office and then show your ass. You already show it when you on doing your podcast. Podcasting and politics, two different things. Don't show your ass up there in the politic world. That's just crazy. I know our president does it all the time. Don't follow in his footsteps. Don't follow his lead at all. Period. So anyway, Toya said, shouldn't we help her run her campaign? Eugene says, nah, I have to believe in the campaign before I just go helping and go help with a campaign. I have to believe in it. I was like, okay. So back at Dr. Heavenly's home, she tells Damon that they are public figures, right? and she's running for office, and that's gonna affect her, her husband, and her kids. She says, unfortunate. She says it was unfortunate what happened to Buddy, referring to Damon Jr. She tells Dr. Damon he can't keep any secrets from her. In this moment, Dr. Heavenly is speaking in this tone that is so irritating to me. It's almost baby tone and it's real kind of like soft, but it's so phony and fake to me because we know how that she uses her full voice to talk. And so she's talking kind of in this baby talk, and it was getting under my skin like, oh, girl, stop talking like that. Um, and she tells Dr. Damon he can't keep any secrets from her. Dr. Heavenly says to him, you don't ever tell me everything, anything. Heavenly says she had to learn about her son being arrested on social media. So what else is out there? A lot, apparently. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. And the cold part is that I didn't really recognize that her son was arrested for pretty much assaulting a police officer. That's crazy. I don't know what the circumstances are. Don't know, but that's not no punk. Production shows us clips of Damon Jr. from 2018 when he was in college, and then they showed him interning at Dr. Heavenly's dental practice. Damon Jr. was, I already told y'all, he was arrested for aggravating assault on a law enforcement officer. Heavenly was really hurt and upset by the news, like any other mother would have been. I mean, yeah, that would have upset me. But if it happened a few years ago, a month ago, a while ago, I'm gonna be upset. But I'm trying to figure out what is she like. Were you upset he got arrested? Are you upset at why he got arrested? Are you upset because you weren't told? Are you upset about the way you found out? There's so many layers that you can peel back to find out what she's exactly mad at. But Heavenly tells Damon, we can't keep secrets, any secrets. Damon says, that's not a secret. Heavenly says, well, you didn't tell me. And she's still talking in baby voice though. Like I'm talking with more force than she is. And I'm not even talking with force. She said, well, you didn't tell me. Uh, then we get Heavenly and Damon in the confessional where Damon says, well, it wasn't like months or years ago. It wasn't months or years that went by without me telling you, Heavenly. Heavenly says, no, that's exactly what happened. This happened in 2022. And I didn't find out until pretty much this year, which is in 2025 in June, on social media. Damon says he told her before. So he thought he told her, right? Heavenly's like, no, I don't think you did. Damon says, I think so. Dr. Heavenly says, no, Damon. He said, well, either way, I did what I did, and anyone have an opinion on it. I mean, anyone can have an opinion on it, which everybody's gonna have an opinion on it. And I think you were completely wrong for not sharing something so detrimental to the family that your son did that your wife doesn't know about. Even if you handled it, you still should have told her, even after it got handled, so it doesn't just creep upon her. She could have that because this could have went a whole nother way. She could have already knew, and it wouldn't look like she then blew up. Then on top of it, now we're about to find out that Damon Jr. I'll tell y'all now. Let me just get into it real quick. Anyway, what I say, Dr. Heavenly says, no, Damon, he didn't tell her, and he said either way that he handled it. Damon tells Heavenly that he knew he could take care of it, but Heavenly tells him, you didn't take care of it enough to where I found out about it years later on social media. Heavily asks Damon, where is little Damon now? Because, well, she's like, where's little Damon? Why did he leave? And she's still talking in this baby talk. She was like, was it something I said, Damon? And I'm like, it must have been. So we get her saying in the confessional, when she got the news, she went off on Damon Jr. She don't even remember what she said. That's how much she went off on him. He got his stuff and left. He got his stuff and left the house, and she said she hasn't seen him in months. She asked Damon, can he bring his son home? He told her, no, I can't. He's like, God can, but I can't help. I can't do nothing. Evelyn says, she just missed her son. That's her heart, and she miss him. So we head over to Contessa and Scott's new medical building, which is under construction. They paid 1.2 million for the building, right? They bought it in at the end of 2023. Their old practice was successful, so don't get it twisted that they're buying the building. That just means they're upgrading and they need more room and more space, okay? And so the new building is 4,000 square feet. They have a boardroom, they have some exam rooms, procedure rooms, and she's putting a full kitchen in there. Scott says they practice lifestyle medicine, so the building is going to be a lifestyle building. It's going to reflect that. The construction is costing them $400,000, okay? Their interior decorator, Amanda, arrives to show them and share with them the samples that she has for some of the offices and things. And Contessa asked her, how long will it take for them to get the inside done? And she says, give it at least 2 months. That fool, Scott, neck turned so fast, I thought he was about to turn it all the way around. I was like, whoa. Contessa shares with Amanda that they moved out of their own space, the smaller medical office, and now they're pretty much working full time at other doctor offices. So with that, the longer it takes them to get this building together, the longer it takes her to be with her patients, I guess, because literally she's saying that her patients, she can lose some patients if they don't hurry up and open up their practice. And I'm thinking to myself, but if you're working 2 full-time jobs doing what you do, how are you losing patients? Is it that you have to drive? They have to drive far, or I guess I take that back, because when you have certain kind of medical, you can't just be jumping all over the place. They be like, you go to this doctor's office and that's it. So maybe that's what she meant. Scott discussed with Amanda, which was weird to me that they were sitting here having this whole discussion with her. Maybe that's how it works. I never bought no building. I told y'all that last time, but they're discussing with Amanda, who is the interior decorator, interior designer, how the contractor that did the framing and the drywall and the electrical has exceeded the initial 150,000. Contessa says it might go. She says if they spend like 1.8 million, and that fool Scott next turned again, like, what you talking about? He was like, wait, what? And she's like, yeah, if we spend 1.8 million, that's almost a complete double for what the building is worth and stuff. So Scott is like, yeah, but I'm trying to stay under 1.5. And she was like, I don't know how you trying to stay under 1.5. You're not doing the math correctly. She's like, I send the contractor $13,000 every week. I said, 13,000. Yikes! Give me. Maybe I should be in construction or something. I'm doing the wrong thing. So, Contessa basically works 2 full-time jobs. I told y'all that. sometimes she leaves the house at 5 in the morning. And I know she's exhausted. We already seen her bring her work home last week. And now I understand she got too much going on. And so now we go back over to Toya and Eugene. I'm sorry. No, we don't. We don't go back there. So we find out that Toya and Eugene, when they found out that Contessa and Scott were buying a medical building, that piqued Eugene's interest because he's already going out of town to make more money. So maybe he can get a cool little deal on renting from Contessa and Scott, and it might, be a match made in heaven, his words. And so Contessa and Scott were purchasing their medical building. Eugene is interested in getting the office space from her. But the problem is the contractor might not be done for another 8 weeks. Now, 4 days ago, she had just told Amanda had just told the interior designer told her it's probably gonna take at least 8 weeks. Now, Toya, uh she tells Toya, I'll take that back. We haven't got to that part yet. I'm moving too fast. I'm moving too fast. Slow down, Lynn. Slow down. So anyway, Eugene is interested in getting the office space. Her problem is that she would like for the contractor to be done in 4 weeks. Instead, he has 8+ weeks. But she's scared that they might do a shabby. She wants them to do it in 4 weeks, but she's scared they might do shabby work. So she asks Amanda, do you think they're going to do shabby work if I tell them to have it done in 4 weeks? Amanda tells her that it just depends on if they can, get a night crew to come in, because that means they would have to pretty much work day and night to get that done. But then that's more money. That's more cost for them. And y'all already know Scott head is already spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning. So we get a scene with Toya coming to the building. So it was a scene that already happened. And she came to the building, and Contessa had told her that day that it was only going to take 2 weeks. That's because the contractor's been telling them it's only going to take him 2 weeks. And he's saying that every 2 weeks. So what I would do is I would hold one of them checks and I would make him hold his feet to the fire. You're going to have something done that you said you was going to have done, or you're not going to get this other money. Something need to give. Okay. So I don't know. That's just me. Maybe that's why I ain't got no business, no building business, because you're not about to play with me. They did come. Toya came to the building. So Contessa is very proud of her and her husband, opening this medical building, Hold on, y'all. Oh, I'm sorry. Here. Anyway, she says she's very proud of them purchasing a medical building, because they basically purchased this building in what she calls the Beverly Hills of Georgia, which means it's a nice area, right? And the fact that they are Black and opening up a doctor's office, not a doctor's office, a medical building, is amazing. Like, you know what? Let me do this because this is amazing. That's dope. One more time. Okay. And Scott, you was almost gonna leave your wife. You knew that girl had visions and hopes and dreams. You almost lost out, homeboy. I think it's dope. I said that. Toya and Simone are on their way to Brandy's doctor's office, and where Brandy does everything from facials to Botox to anything that has anything to do with beauty care. Brandy greets them, and Toya says that Eugene might be right. He said, because Eugene told her only pretty people should be doing Botox. Mm-hmm. Okay, but if beauty is in the eye of beholder, and what you think is pretty might not be pretty to me, and what I think is pretty might not be pretty to you. So, mm. Anyway, they laugh. Brandy is a board certified family nurse practitioner. Um, they take care of all your injectable needs. They do Botox, they do fillers, hyperneedle, they do chemical pills, cool, cool sculpting, and hair removal. So they do it all. She definitely is your one-stop shop. Brandy says she has a crazy cool life. She's a wife, and then she has 4 children, and they all look like they're under. I don't think she got any teenagers in there. You're very busy, Brandy. Very, very busy. And I'm not mad at you. I have 5, but oh yeah, yikes. Hmm. Anyway, Brandy opened up her medical spa. She worked with Dr. Damon, and she was a nurse practitioner at his practice for interventional pain. Brandy says that Damon always gets props from her in her book. Brandy is getting Toya and Simone prepared in their room, and Brandy said, she normally don't put 2 patients together, but Toya wanted to have a girl moment, and so she wanted to be in there when um, Simone was about to get whatever procedure she was going to get done. um, Toya shared with the ladies that she had a dream that Quad and King was house shopping, and they were in her neighborhood, and she saw them and was like, "What y'all doing over here?" And they was telling her that they were shopping for a house. And so Dr. Simone says, uh, "Oh, that would be nice." And Toya gave her the finger. I was like, And so she was like, "Yeah." Toya Oh yeah, Toya was looking like no and gave her the finger. Brandy says, when you have dreams like that, they typically come true. Uh Toya was like, yeah, I'm not telling her. I didn't even divulge that information with her. So she don't even get no inkling to come to my house and look, or in my neighborhood to come look for no house. I don't even want her to know. So anyway, she said she didn't tell Quad. And so Simone said, well, I'll tell her. So like I said, she gave her the finger and was like, so right after that, we have Toya gets a real devastating phone call from Ashton saying that their dog Bailey's had drowned in the pool. The housekeeper I don't know officially how the story goes. It said that Toya first they said the housekeeper had let the dog out, and then she went to go get the washer, you know, get the laundry together, and then she came back outside and she didn't see Bailey's. But when she goes and tells the story, she ends up saying more so that she left. Oh shoot, she said that she left um, Bailey's out, and that she usually lets that her housekeeper Anna usually let her back in, but this time for whatever reason, Anna, I guess Bailey's usually, um, what is she? She usually, what is it called? She usually scratches at the door to let her know to get back in. I'm sorry, y'all. I was trying to get the pixelation together because I'm like, why am I so pixelated? But I guess it looks good. But anyway, so because Bailey's didn't come back to the door and scratch at the door, she didn't see Bailey's around, so she must have went to go look for her and found her in their pool. That made me so sad because I lost my my girl Nova, my pup, and she was only like a couple years old, and she passed early this year or late last year or year before last. I can't remember when it was. I feel like it was this past year. So I understand, but I didn't have her as long as Toya. Toya had Bailey's for 18 years. Okay? That is a long time. And so yeah, it was devastating. Toya broke down. I was happy that Dr. Simone was there to comfort her. And so yeah, she broke down, and then Brandy came back into the room to check on them, and Toya told her the news, and um, I think Simone asked her, what can we do in this moment? And freaking Toya says, "Do you guys have any tequila?" That would be me all day, every day, all day, every day. As soon as somebody that I love pass away, where is the drink? I need a drink. Okay. And shout out to my girl Nova. That's my baby. I miss her so much. She was my English bulldog. I miss my baby. She was so sweet. And oh, I just miss her. So anybody that shares in that sentiment or have lost their puppy or their family dog, shout out to you guys, because y'all all know what that feels like, right? So anyway, we head over to the celebration of life that the Harris family is having, which is a send-off for Bailey's. They really went all out, y'all. Bailey's, the pooch, okay? Bailey's Harris, which is, like I said, the family puppy. She was so cute too. They have a service for her, and when they walk in there, it was a chapel. 2, there was flowers everywhere. 3, it was pink and white. It was so pretty. I mean, I was like, the send off that this puppy is getting is so pretty. Um, so even Eugene had to say, I think this was a little extra to do, a funeral for a dog. Eugene said, "Have you ever been to a dog's funeral?" To Toya. Toya had to remind him, "Have you ever been to a Birkins party?" Eugene said, "Touche." Toya says Bailey was like her, so she deserves the perfect send-off. All the ladies arrive, and they all are wearing white. They look nice. Uh, we all mm, we all know that Jackie's not fond of dogs. She says she's not scared of them, but she is. But she did come to show support to Toya. Dr. Heavenly arrives with her pooch Phantom. Um, she was in the confessional. Nope. In the confessional, Toya said she didn't think that Heavenly was going to show up today, especially if she doesn't have her PR person. So Toya was being shady, taking a dig off of her on her, about her running for office. And so so then we get Dr. Mimi in the confessional saying that it's got Dr. Mimi in the confessional saying she missed. No, we got Dr. Heavenly. I'm sorry. We have Dr. Heavenly in the confessional saying she missed Mimi's polo classic, but she was there in spirit since Toya was talking about her. In the confessional, Heavenly says she don't want to read the bitch too bad already, but if you talk about me, I'm gonna talk about your dead dog, your dead ass dog. I was like, ugh, this not gonna be a pretty this not gonna end well. This right here, because see, this is the thing, Heavenly. They keep showing you. They keep showing you in your mouth and how you talk and how you can get like act like a loose cannon. And here you go talking about her puppy that we at the service for. Like, come on now. So Simone and Cecil and Brandy walk up. Simone has her dog, and Cecil has his dog. Cecil says to Brandy, "You not a dog lover, huh?" She said, "No, I never really had a dog." He said, "Yeah, I could tell." She said, "Oh, you could tell?" Like, yeah, and you can always tell the people that are afraid of dogs or haven't been around dogs. They kind of jumpy around them, don't know what. They just feel uncertainty around them, and that's fine. Toya says, so Cecil and Simone walk into the chapel. Their dogs look so cute. They got their little blue little baby jackets on. Look so cute. And Simone and Toya hug, and Toya says, they didn't have nothing white to wear. I said, Toya, shut up. You better be lucky they even came. And their outfits was cute. I'm sorry. Um, Simone in the confessional says whatever happened to just getting a paw print on a death certificate from the vet and call it a night. Brandy walks in, and she's like, "Why this funeral look like it's for a human being?" Brandy was petting Dr. Heavenly's dog. She's just playing, petting the dog, and I don't know for whatever reason, Dr. Heavily like had the dog over her shoulder a little bit and not like right in front of her, and she was then Brandy's petting the dog and she like "Hey!" like scared her. I was like, why would you do that? So Dr. Mimi is in the confessional and she like, I just don't hope none of these dogs use the bathroom in here. Contessa in her confessional says this service was better than her graduation from med school. Okay, that's how nice it was. It was really nice. It was really, really nice. So Eugene and Toya stand up and they start the service. Eugene thanks everyone for coming and for coming. He said he hopes that none of y'all think it was silly to come to a funeral for a dog. Eugene says he's been telling everyone that he lost a family member because Bailey's was such a kind spirit. He says this was his first dog. So, yeah, that's sad. He says he thinks Bailey's taught him and Toya how to be good parents before they became parents because remember Bailey was 18. They got hurt 18 years ago and their children are under 15 or 15 and under. And so we get Dr. Mimi in the confessional saying that Steve had a 4-pound Yorkie that he named, of course, Louis Vuitton. And so she said he had passed earlier in the year. So she definitely could empathize with what the Harris family was going through. Toya says this is extremely difficult for her because the last time she saw Bailey's, she was nervous. The dog was nervous because she had pooped on her rug and she thought that she was going to get in trouble. So she kept looking out and jumping away from Toya. But Toya said she didn't even yell at her. She didn't get mad like she usually do. She didn't do anything. So Toya didn't say anything to Bailey's. So for the rest of the day, she, like I said, she was staring at Toya. She was jumping a little bit from her. So Toya said she thank God because she wouldn't want that to be the last encounter she had with Bailey's, if she would have fussed at her. So she teared up, I teared up, and we have Toya in the confessionals saying some people say that when dogs pass, they like to go away from their owners. Toya likes to think that Bailey ran through the neighborhood, surveyed the house and the land that they live on, and felt like the Harris family was good where they were moving to, and she could go. And it's crazy because when my pup passed, when Nova passed, she had got sick the day of, and I had to leave to go do hair, and so she had literally she had it looked like she had just threw up some clear water, so that's how I knew she wasn't feeling good. And so I told the whole household to keep an eye on her and stuff. And when I came back, she was in the garage, but she had hit herself. We had a mattress in the garage, and she hit herself not underneath the mattress, because the mattress was sitting up on the wall, but she hit herself underneath the mattress just enough for me to see her legs. And so when I came in there and I said her name and she didn't move, because if I walk in that door, she jumps up to see what I'm doing. And so she didn't jump that time. And I said no, but I knew she wasn't sleeping. I walked over and I looked at her and she wasn't breathing. And oh my gosh, yeah, that was the saddest thing. So she hit herself for me, and that just broke me down even more, because I thought, wow, she's so smart that she knew she was on her whatever her last little breath, and she said, "No, I don't want my mom to find me like that." So yeah, I cried, girl. I was crying. Toya says she really appreciate everyone that came to support her, because it's in these moments where she needs family and friends. Contessa and Toya, so that's how she ended that. That's how that ended. So now we got Contessa and Toya. They're in the car discussing Contessa's medical building. She asks Toya if Eugene is still interested in renting the office, but she shares with Toya that they need more time. And so Toya asks her, well, how much more time do you need? And of course, Contessa tells her what was told to her. She says, I need 2 more weeks. Mind you, production shows us that was 4 days ago that Amanda told her 8 weeks at least. So I don't know how that's gonna roll. But so Contessa is trying to buy a little time so that Eugene doesn't go looking somewhere else, because she really wants him to be a tenant of hers. They are on their way to meet up with Jackie and the other ladies. Jackie told them to come sexy and wear your heels. Toya says she's always sexy. I don't know what. Toya said, I'm always sexy. And Contessa was like, yeah, me too. Jackie told them to dress sexy and bring their heels, and that's all she told them. Toya said she almost didn't go to Jackie's event because Jackie don't drink, so there ain't gonna be no liquor at her event. Contessa says, oh, sweet girl, I got you covered, baby. I bought my bag, and in that bag is some alcohol. And so Toya said, yeah, because in my bag I only had some coffee. Simone arrives to the venue first, where Jackie has the ladies meeting her. And she arrives there first, and there is an instructor that is getting her sexy dance on. And Simone says, oh, I must be in the wrong place because I can't do none of that. So the instructor says, no, you're in the right place and you can do it. And so Simone says she is like Bozo the Clown with her heels on, but she is here at the dance studio. Brandy arrives next. She got her sexy outfit on. Toya and Contessa arrive, and all the ladies are bringing their sexy game. Okay, they all trying to get their sexy game up. They decide to bring out the vodka, the alcohol that Contessa brought. Not only did she bring the alcohol, but she also bought the cups. We ain't got a waterfall. We ain't got to do none of that. Okay. So shout out to Contessa for having the cups and pouring it up. You know what I mean? I ain't never gonna be mad at that. And so Jackie arrives. Jackie gets there. She arrives. She has a beautiful bouquet of flowers for every name is going through my head. I wish I can see the names rolling in my head. It's so funny. But for Toya, but the ladies, before Jackie walks in there with this bouquet, the ladies are like, oh, let's have a drink before Jackie gets there. So Brandy tells them, oh, just give me a little bit because I ain't trying to break my ankles, girl. I need my ankles. I got to walk around and stuff. So Simone get her drinking. She like, oh girl, I'm about to get my freak on. I'm like, girl, are you? You just told us you got Bozo the Clown feet. What are you talking about? So anyway, Jackie arrives. She has the beautiful bouquet of flowers for Toya in honor of Bailey's. Jackie wanted to bring the ladies together because they had not discussed the issues that have been going on with the ladies. But as of tonight, they are going to stop dancing around the truth. It's time to get down to the real nitty and gritty. Okay, that's what Dr. Jackie has in store for them. Dr. Mimi arrives, and last but not least, Miss Quad in her sexy outfit came to slay the girls. Okay, so I said last but not least because I didn't know who all was invited. That definitely wasn't the last person to arrive. So I'm just putting it out there. But in my notes, that's what I had put last but not least. But there was not the last and not least person to arrive. But she showed up looking good. Okay. Miss Quad never disappoints. When you say sexy, she gonna pull it out. Okay. So Dr. Heavenly, she actually came in and she was looking good. I really liked the wig she had on in the confessional and in this scene. So she came in her little sexy outfit too. So as soon as she got there, she came in questioning Dr. Jackie. So what are we doing? Dr. Jackie says today is about dealing with the stuff that we haven't been dealing with, but I want to have some fun first. So without further ado, she introduced the instructor Desiree to take it away. She wants to know if any of the ladies experience dancing in heels. So, child, Dr. Mimi rolls over there and she walks up like she about to go do the dang on thing. I said, "Oh, okay, what you about to do, Dr. Mimi?" So she walk up and we get her talking about when she was in college, she was a dancer and they show her in her cheering outfit and all this stuff, and that she she is very experienced in dance, and if Beyonce needed her to be a background dancer, she could have did that. She could have went to the auditions. I said, oh goodness. So anyway, she got down there, had her heels on. She dropped it like a shot. She dropped it down, got the knees going. I said, okay, girl. So, she was bouncing up and down. She was giving Megan Thee Stallion knees. I said, okay, show the ladies, show the ladies. It wasn't bad. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. So we get Dr. Heavily in the confessional saying, Mimi, you my friend, but it's been a long time since you've been trained in dancing. I was like, ugh. So the girls start learning, their first sexy move, which was one leg out and then bring it slowly over back to your body, right? And you use your arms and your legs, they both come out and you bring it back. And what I say, slowly bring you back in other leg. And as they're learning that, that's when the beautiful Angel walks in with her sexy self. She's very beautiful. And she brought all her sexy. She bringing sexy back. Yep. Okay. So Desiree instructed the ladies to walk to the front and then bust a move. And then the next lady would walk up and bust a move. And then the next lady would walk up and bust a move. So first lady that walked up and bust a move was Brandy. And she did her little thing. It was cute. Okay, go on, Brandy did her thing. And then we got Toya. I don't know what she was doing, but she went down and came up and both her arms went up. I don't know. It was weird. Then we got Contessa. Now I had watched Contessa when they did the first move with the long arm and then bring your arm and your leg back, and it didn't look good. She looked awkward. I mean, and I'm not saying I'm the best, but it looked awkward to me. So anyway, Contessa walks down and she busts her move, which the move wasn't great, but when she did finally arrive at the move, she busts down into a split. So at first it was a delay. You know how production do. So it looked like everybody was like, what the hell? But in essence, it wasn't what the hell. The ladies was very impressed. They started kind of clapping and stuff, except for Heavenly. We get Heavenly in the confessional saying Contessa split her ass open. She needs to close it up. I was like, are you hating right now that you can't bust into a split? I think so. I think so. For sure. Jackie's dancing with the instructor, Miss Desiree, and they trying to bust some moves. They down and they dancing down and doing they rocking a little bit with their knees, and then Jackie ends up busting the crisscross, your legs put together and back and forth. It was a funny movement, and it just I could have did without seeing that. I don't know what you call that dance, but y'all know the old school dance. But I think what she called it was correct. She said she looked like the Tin Man from the Wizard of Oz. I was like, yes, you do. She was real stiff. She was like, I need some oil. And she did, and she did, and she did. Okay. We get Angel dancing with the chair. Now, if she puts her body over the part of the chair that I'm leaning against, she got her body at the top of it, and she looks like she's swimming. Okay, the form was nice. The girls all walk up and they bust a little move. All in all, it was a good time had by all. Like literally, it looked like they all had a good time. So the instructor Desiree said all the ladies did a great job, and she thanked them for coming. This goofball Toya says she's gonna practice the moves she learned naked. Everybody had the same consensus, which was okay, Toya. All right, so now we about to get another duel scene. Okay, we about to get the last duel scene because now we have the fellas getting ready to pull up. Okay, so let's make sure that you guys are liking up the video. Okay, we got to like up the video. Yes, this here. So we're just gonna take a small. I was gonna say a small chronic break. Shout out to Snoop. But let's make sure that we're doing this, okay? Are y'all having a good time? I am, especially because I'm on the last bit of the scene, okay, the dual scene that we got. So like I said, we got the fellas pulling up to a place called the tap room, which the tap room, which looks like a bar and lounge. Steve pulls up first. Cecil put it together, so he was already there. He was already there to greet everyone. I want to so I'm sorry. Okay, and then Steve was the person. Okay, yeah, Cecil is there to greet everyone. Then I want to tell y'all how much I love a classic car. And Curtis pulls up in his classic car. It is so beautiful. I love the way he restored the car. It is so nice. I have a 1966 Mustang that I'm going to restore. My husband he already restored his. He has, I forgot what year his El Camino is, but he has a really nice El Camino. It's restored. It's bomb. I love it. And so my next car that once I restore my 1966 Mustang, I'm gonna buy me a classic car because I want one. I've always wanted one, and I want it to be white on white. I don't know how the hell I'm about to do this, but that's what I want. I do. I want one. Same car like Curtis's car for white on white. So anyway, King pulls up on the fellas. Scott and Eugene walk up, and Brandy's husband Shamar arrives. Cecil says the guys haven't got together in a long time, so he had to get all the guys together so they can get back to the way they normally do things. When you have this many doctors, their schedules, are tight. You can't get them all together at the same time. Hence the party. Damon and Heavenly didn't come. Eugene wasn't able to make the party. So, it is hard to get all the guys in together, or even the couples for that reason. So, kudos to Cecil for pulling that together. But what is it? Okay, yeah. So with that, when we get Dr. Damon pulling up, I was like, oh yeah, you pulled that all the way off, because Damon was the last one to pull up. And so they are all excited to see him, because he wasn't at the party. And so my favorite part of this scene is watching all the men shake hands and then hug, but not hug with their hands in front of them, but like put two hands around each other and embrace each other, because I always think that is just the best thing. It's just bomb to me. And so I was here for that. Love it, love it, love it. Steve tells Damon that they missed a nice event at his home at the Polo Classic. Damon said, well, what happened? All the fellas agreed that it was a pretty tame party. All the ladies behaved themselves. Shamar said, it's not usually that way. The fellas all laughed. No, it's not always like that. So we get back to the ladies, because remember, we're doing a duo scene. So we get back to the ladies, and Jackie says she wants to see how they all can talk about being better people and better friends. Jackie says she had a few questions that she wrote down. The first question is, it's not really a question. She just posing things to them. Anyway, she says, the first question is, I snoop through my husband's phone when he's in the shower. How many of you ladies out there do that? That's a good question. How many ladies do that? How many of you ladies wait for your husband to get in the shower and then snoop through his phone? Am I guilty of doing that? Yes. But I didn't just go pick up the phone to be snooping. Like, his phone might go off and he might be in the shower, and I'm going to go look to see who's calling him. But go into his phone, I don't have to, because we have the same passcode code on our phone. I can go on his phone anytime I want to. He can go on my phone anytime he wants to. We have the same passcode. So I don't have to. Have I went through his phone? I'm going to say yes. I'm going to be honest and say yes. But I also, in the back of my mind, know that if I look for something, I might find something. So I try not to do stuff like that, because that is a true statement. There ain't no you might find something. You are going to find something. You're going to find something that you probably shouldn't be looking at. It doesn't not have anything to do with you. Now, I'm not saying if he's cheating on you, you got every right. Like, that's a whole different ballgame. But I'm saying, like, you might see something or read something that you might take out of context, and it might not make sense to you. And so now you are sitting with that, and it wasn't for you. So you gotta be careful. So Toya raised her hand and said, wherever he's at, I'm snooping. I go through his phone. She's like, I don't give a shit. She's like, I can look at his phone anytime I want to. In the confessional, she said she can look at it, and she wants to know, I'm sorry. Every time I get to the end, I always get so antsy. I'd be like, my brain just like that. Okay, so sorry, y'all. Anyway, she says she don't give a shit. She can look and if she wants to know something, she will look. In the confessional, Toya said she was raised in a household with some people cheating. She said she's not going to say no names, dad and mom. And I'm like, huh? I'm trying to figure out if you're not going to say them names, why would you even say dad and mom? What is that? Those are names. You don't call your mom and dad by their real names. You call them mom and dad. Those are the names you call them. So you did say some names. I don't understand that. Anyway, Toya says she can't fight the devil unless she knows what she's dealing with. Okay. Toya's mom also told her that when you don't, Toya's mom told her, don't go looking and you won't find nothing. But now, if you go looking and you find it, you better be ready to react. Toya says she stay ready. You're going to have to stay on ready if you always looking. Jackie says, okay, well, she wants to do the next question. She wants to get a little bit more personal with this question, though. Jackie says to Simone, you would not have went to Quad's party regardless of when the invitation was sent. That is the posing question. I agree with Brandy when she says this is about to be some bullshit. This is about to be some BS. So anyway, Simone replies and she says, that's not true. She says, but when I'm invited on the day of, you don't really want me there. So we go back to the fellas and Steve asks, give me some advice being a rookie here with the wives. Eugene says, it's when the wives get together sometimes, they keep it a little too real. Cecil seconds that motion. And Eugene says, we have a lot of alpha wives and you have to move a little stealthy with the ladies. What you can't do is tell the ladies what they can and can't do with the other ladies. Cecil says that will never work. Steve says, then what's the best approach? What's the best approach? He asked, what's the best approach? Question. He said, you tell your wife. He was like, so what's the best approach? And so Eugene basically was like, you support your wife in whatever she says, and that's just number one. You support them, right? And then so I'm sorry because the way I wrote it is so weird. I'm so sorry. Anyway, let me read it again. Steve says, then what's the best approach? What's the best approach? Eugene says, you tell your wife, I support you in whatever you want to do. That's number one. You tell her, I'm on your side. And then they show Curtis, and you can tell that's leaving a bad taste in Curtis' mouth. You can see it in his face, right? And so King asks, what if she's wrong? Eugene says, be on her side. Be on her side. Again, we get Curtis looking away because he was looking at Eugene at first, and he looked away, and then he started straightening up his pants because I was like, ooh, you feeling uncomfortable? He didn't quite roll his eyes at him, but he didn't even cut his eyes, but he just was looking like, oh, that's what you do? You gonna be on her side anyway. Okay. And so he said, but you can tell, but you can tell that Curtis's wheels are turning. Scott chimes in and says, you can't just uphold what she's doing wrong all the time. Eugene says, whatever she is doing, you just find a little crack in what she's saying and you give her a little nugget of reason and then stand back. And he throws his hands up and you stand back. And Curtis laughed to himself. He kind of laughed to himself. He adjusted his pants and they stopped the scene there and they go over to back over to the ladies. So now we get quiet and she's like, said when she invited Simone to the birthday party, she made light of the situation. So Toya said that wasn't a real invitation, that it was that was shade, and or she said the shade of it, and then Quad said part of it was because she shaded me. So Simone starts going off, pointing her finger in Quad's face. So you go and drag me on social, and before she could finish her sentence, Quad was already like, don't point your finger at me. Don't point your finger at me and get your life together. Simone tells her, my life is already together. Quad asks her, why are you so upset, Simone? I agree with Contessa. They have addressed this 25,000 million quadruple times, and they've been on this same hamster wheel together for too long, and I'm tired of watching. Simone tells Quad, if you hurt me, then I'm coming back out and punching. Quad tells her she ain't the only motherfucker that can swing, though. Brandy says in the confessional that she used to watch soap operas when she was younger, and Quad and Simone remind her of watching a soap opera because one moment they hate each other, and then the next minute they crying and I love you. And so she's like, I don't know if I'm coming or going. Quad breaks down and says she has really tried with Simone. She doesn't know what the problem is, where she and Simone went wrong. Simone starts crying and saying there was a time that Quad was it says shedding, but it's not shedding, that she was put what is the word? There was a time that Quad was shutting. That was the word. Talking into my phone, it says shedding, but it's that she was shutting her out with the group. Jackie says this is the thing we're missing, is that these two ladies actually love each other. Quad tells Simone to hold her hand and hold it like she cares. Quad tells her she cares about her. She was hurt by her, and she was hurt by her, and she hurt her. Child, I hate when I write, and I hate when I'm trying to end because it just always messes up. Sorry, y'all. Okay. She says she was hurt. Quad says she was hurt, and that she was hurt by her, and she heard Quad's apology. She heard the hold on, y'all. And then of course my cursor is acting up. Hold on, y'all. Hit the like button. Give me a second, y'all. Let me get this part together. Hold on. All right. Let's see if I get my cursor to act right. Like the button. Okay. Hit the like button. Quad tells her she cares about her. She was hurt by what Simone said, and she was hurting her back, right? But she owns that she hurt Simone. Quad owns the fact that she hurt Simone, and she need it. Oh, and that she means it from the bottom of her heart. She really, they both was hurt people hurting each other. They just hurt people. That's it. That's basically what it was. She asked Simone, how does she feel? Simone says she's often she oftentimes functions out of hurt and anger, and that Quad had shut her out. Simone says she didn't feel like she deserved what Quad was giving her. Simone says she's gonna leave it right there. Contessa said, "Yeah, this is a sisterhood. Let's do a group hug." And so, at right when she was getting ready to say that, Quad and Simone started hugging, and they was hugging each other tight. It was really emotional. They both were crying. And so when Dr. Contessa says, "Let's do a group hug," everybody kind of like backed up, was like, "Yeah, no, this is, let them have this. This is their moment." And so in the confessional, Simone says she doesn't want to be at odds with Quad. It feels good to get it out and how she's feeling now. And hopefully they will never have to circle back and discuss this shit again. Jackie said what this was all about, to make a breakthrough with Quad and Simone. Toya interrupts and says, "Simone and Quad, do y'all want to go outside? Because they've moved on." She's joking though. I said, "Toya, that alcohol show is moving fast. It's moving fast, girl." So anyway, we go back to the fellas, and Curtis says, "We're over here having a conversation about how uneasy we feel when someone says something about our character. We all agree that doesn't put you in a good place. When our wives start putting stuff in the media that's untrue about someone in this group, we got to deal with that." Scott says, "Oh, yeah," like basically agreeing with Curtis. Curtis says, "I just heard Eugene say, I'm going to support her right or wrong." Curtis says, "We can't do that." He also said, if he knows that his wife is putting something out there that's not true, he's not going to sugarcoat it. Eugene says, "I don't have that experience because my wife ain't put nothing out there that ain't true." So we get the Harrises in Toya and Eugene in their confessional. Eugene says when they asked Toya about the comment she made in New York, it was he said it was a comment. It was a comment, but it wasn't untrue. It was a true statement. Toya said, "Yeah, it wasn't a lie." So Eugene said, "Yeah, I can't be like Toya, you wrong." Yeah, I can't be like, "Toya, you wrong," when she didn't say nothing that wasn't wrong in his eyes. Curtis says, "Well, we know you saw it and you didn't respond to the comment." So Curtis says, "It's just got to end because next week or a month from now, it's going to be someone else and they're going to be in that same spot." In the confessional, we get Curtis saying he's usually not one to start the fight, but that the fights he has been in, he was there to finish them. Steve chimes in and says, what Curtis is trying to say is it has to be a level of accountability that we need to hold our spouses to and be able to have those conversations to tell them if you're right or wrong, you're in the wrong. I mean, if you're in the wrong, that you're in the wrong. Eugene says, to lighten the mood. So he wants to change the subject. He's like, no, to lighten the mood. Eugene says, can we talk about some real stuff that's going on? Toya told me that Dr. Heavenly is running for something. So he asked Damon. That's what he asked Dr. Damon. Damon says, yeah, she's running for state representative. Sorry, y'all. My phone was about to ring. I was trying to catch it before it rang, but I think it caught it anyway. But anyway, I'm back, and let me pick up where I left off. So Damon says she is running for state representative. Um, Dr. Damon said he's never really saw her in politics, but she's smart and she's influential, and she got him. So Cecil was like, "Well, that's key. You got my vote." um, so we go back over to the ladies, and Dr. Heavenly says, "Before we go, I just have to bring it up that she heard a lot of people had a lot of comments and questions about things that I was doing and things that are going on in my life." Heavenly says she is running for state representative and she feels like somebody has to stand up, especially in her district, in her community, because they're not being heard. So first, Toya, I want to tell you, if you have any questions, let me know. I can tell you. Toya says, when I heard you were running for anything, the first thing I thought about was, wow, she doesn't even know how to maintain her relationships in her friend groups. So of course we get production showing us scenes of Dr. Heavenly not being so heavenly. Heavenly says to Toya, Heavenly says the question, no, I'm sorry, Heavenly says to Toya, my question is, do you know what a state representative does? Toya said, I'm gonna go back to your other question. I absolutely thought it was a joke. Dr. Heaven says, but do you know what they do? Toya says, I don't give a that he's I don't give a that she says, oh, Heavenly says, I know you don't. I know you don't. But what I'm telling you is that the state representative would not be you. That's what Toya said to Miss Heaven. I mean, Dr. Heavenly. Do you guys agree with Toya? Do y'all think that she ain't gonna get no vote? Ain't nobody gonna vote for her? I don't know. I can't call it. I ain't gonna hold you because popularity is popularity, whether you hate it or not. Sometimes popularity is all you need. Dr. Heavenly says that that's horrible to say. Um, that's horrible to say, Toya. No, it's because she said, I'm like, what did I say? She said, that's horrible to say, Toya. No, it's because you can't even hear the people, is what Toya says. Heavenly says, please understand that African American people are underrepresented. Underrepresented. Toya says, understand I'm the people and I'm not voting for you. Again, Heavenly says, do you know what a state representative even do? She said, no, you don't. No, you don't. Toya said it ain't you. It ain't you. I was like, oh God. They was fussing. So in the confessional, Contessa says, politics is all about digging up them skeletons, girl. And if she can't hang with Toya, she needs to get out the game. Heavenly tells Toya to leave her kids out of her mouth. I was like, where did the kids come in? And she put her kids in the mouth. But anyway, Toya says, I'm glad you brought it up because I was just about to ask you how you was doing, bitch, because I ain't brought up your kids. Toya, how can we leave your kids out of our mouth when you dogged our whole family in the confessional? I mean, dogged our whole family in the confessional. In the confessional, I don't know what I put is the last 10 years you ain't did nothing I don't know who was in this confession. Hold on. I've been dog our whole family. Oh, there must be maybe Toya. So I put last 10 years, you ain't did nothing but talk about me and mine. So welcome and enjoy what it feels like, Dr. Heavenly. So that was Toya saying that. Dr. Heavenly says she knows a lot about your family, but ain't never said nothing to you, nothing about your family. Heavenly says she don't owe Toya, and she got a lot of secrets on Toya ass, and she don't want her to drop them because she got some doozies. Heavenly says she don't need Toya's vote. I don't want her vote. Contessa says, I told y'all we should have just had that group hug. If we would have just did that group hug, this probably wouldn't even happen. And that's pretty much how they ended. That's pretty much how they ended it, where they ended it at. I was like, ooh, it got intense. It really did. It got really intense. And I was just like, yikes, why do y'all have to? You know what it is? It's like I said this recently. I said, you guys got to stop. I'm want to do this too. So let me be talking about myself. We have to stop holding on to things and not saying it in the moment, and then carrying it with us. And then when it does come up, now we want to explode on everybody. We got to stop doing that. Because I think it makes it even worse, because when you held it, now it's harboring, and then you now want to say something. It's like, you could have been said that, and making it bigger than it needs to be. So yeah, y'all, that is my recap and what the hell? My recap and my review for the lovely. We love them, and this was only going to be here for the long haul for these ladies. I love them. I love them. They're one of the ones that are not a housewife franchise, and they get it in. That's what I love about them. Like, seriously. So I can't wait to see what we're going to get into next week. I want to thank you guys all for rocking with me over here at Club California Cutiee. The club is just about to close, y'all. Okay? So y'all already know what to do. Whatever y'all do after the club, whether you go have some food, go get you some grub, whether you go to an after hours, or whether you go do the whoopee, whatever you feel like doing after the club, I still need y'all to hit the like button before you go do it, okay? All right, so I had a great time with you guys. Like I said, hit that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to my channel. Make sure that you are sharing me with your people, because we are over here trying to grow Club California Cutiee and all her VIPs, okay? So y'all make room, and you make sure that you come back for my next review and recap, because I will be here next week for this Married to Medicine recap and review for episode 3. I cannot wait. So I'm excited about it. Okay. So without further ado, I'm going to let you guys go, right? I'm going to let you go. Hold on. And you guys get in them comments and let me know what you feel about my comments, my recap, my review. Do you have something to add? Did I miss something? Please get in the comments and let me know that you was here, because I had such a great conversation with a new subby, and it was really a nice kiki. So if you can, leave me a comment. Let me know that you was here, and let me know what you thought about the recap, and let me know what you thought about the episode, and let me know if I missed something, okay? I appreciate you guys, you ladies, you gents, and all the cuties for rocking with me, and I will see you guys in the next one.
I love haters. I love haters. I love